Okay, so good morning, everybody. We're back in Beit Shemesh. Woohoo! Back in Beit Shemesh. Trip is over. Had a beautiful, beautiful time in America. A wedding. So the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. Son caught 14 foul balls. So if you want your kid to get a baseball, look at the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. There's like 100 people in the whole stadium, so the chance of you getting a baseball pretty high. But it's good to be back. A little jet lag this week. Couldn't sleep so well this week, but Hashem, back in action. And here we are, Parsha Shoftim. So, the Nesiv Shalom and Mar Shemesh have very interesting approaches to the Parsha, Shoftim, Shotrim. So, let's first talk about the Mar Shemesh. Mar Shemesh really puts an emphasis on the leaders, that the leaders have responsibility to lead the people, and people have responsibility to have leaders to lead them. So really, the hashpa a person is supposed to get, and it's from the leadership, shoftim, shotrim, the leaders of the shul, leaders of the community, the rabbis, and that's really the most important part. He looks at this at each person, and so when elul rolls around, he's supposed to really, have a hashpa. He's supposed to take musar. He's supposed to really listen to the rabbanim, and praise the one. We think we said this last week. Siva Shalom is praise the people that actually are close to a rav, because that's a bracha. Bracha kala we said last week. The bracha is to have closest to someone who can give you musar, have hashpa on you, so do the right thing, and this way you'll get bracha. That's literally a bracha. Good things will happen through a good message. So the Maharshash picks up on that idea. And that Shotrim is the leadership, and famous Rashi that in your generation Yiftach is not as great as Moshe and Aaron. How does this even work? The point is each generation you have your leadership, and what's interesting is this week in the Ali Shor, at the beginning of the second book, talks about the people, should value your time where you are, the place where you are, who you are, the age where you are. You're really set up the right way. We know in Kahalas a person shouldn't say old days were better than our days. It's not from Chachma, it's speaking. And so Yerushalayim picks up on literally this point. The Ali Shor picks up on this point and says that don't look at leadership of last year. Don't look at the leadership of the last generation. Look at where you are in your generation. Every generation has leadership that's matim for that generation, for you. You were born in this dar, in this generation. You're supposed to be born in this generation. That's what you're supposed to do. And you have your job. You have your job to do. You have your place in the world, your place amongst the Jewish people. And the leader you have is also matim for you. Again, we're not going to have Moshe and Aaron or Shmuel. We're going to have rabbis and leaders, but that's matim for this generation. And that's Mar Shemesh picks up on this point. The Siv Shalom gets more personal, because Siv Shalom more or less picks up on Titein Lecha B'chol Shrecha, to you on your gates. Theoretically, Sha'orim, Tznu Lachem, Moshe is speaking to all the people, gathers all the people around. So why is he saying this singular lashon? Titein Lecha, Sha'orecha. You don't have your own gates to your own city. Everyone has, we all share the gates of Yerushalayim or the gates of Beit Shemesh or something. So Yerushalayim has a very personal approach to this, is that Moshe is speaking to you, and the Torah is speaking to you, which is his refrain almost every parsha. The Torah is really speaking to you directly, not necessarily the generation then, but to you personally, is that a person has gates. You have your eyes, you have your ears, you have your mouth, you have the 5 senses, you feel, all that stuff. And a person has to appoint a judge and officers on your gates, on your senses, on your body. You can't have, I don't eat treif, but I listen to Lashon Hara. Or my feet take me to shul, but I'm sleeping. My eyes are failing me, I'm sleeping half the time. No, a person should have on all his gates, on his entire body, a shofet and a shoter. A shofet, a judge, what's right, what's not right, and a shoter to enforce the judgment. So a person should only see what he's supposed to see. So a gate goes both ways, in and out. And a person's supposed to, look what he's supposed to see and not look what you're not supposed to see. He's supposed to hear things he's supposed to hear. And if something doesn't sound right, Lashon Hara or something really bad or nasty, not to hear it. So a person has to appoint on himself a shofet to judge and a shoter, action. It's nice to think of good things. It's nice to have good ideas and want to do good, but you have to actually fight your will. And that's the most important part, is the action. You can think of good thoughts. Now, sure talks about this as well. It's another coincidence, is that your actions really affect your personality. You can think good things, but it's not going to really change you. By doing a mitzvah all the time, he talks about the difference of giving $1,000 once or $1 1,000 times. What's the difference? Well, when you do something over and over, it actually changes your personality. You want to be a better person? Work on yourself for 40 days straight. We talk about 30 days of elul, 10 days of seres tshuva. Work on yourself 40 days to change a midah. An action will change your personality. Work on anger issues. Work on being on time. Work on not saying lashon hara. Any midah, 40 days, doing all over and over and over again, will change your personality. The actions change who you are. There's 613 mitzvos, and mitzvah all the time after time will change you. And this is what Sim Shalom says, is that's really a personal situation where it actually works in elul, not just this parsha speaks out, but this whole month. This whole month we're supposed to really kind of look at not just actions, but also some of the root causes. We want to get deep. We want to get beyond the surface. What's causing me to kind of be running after money all the time? What's causing me to eat this or to do this? Am I insecure? Am I jealous of something? Have anger issues? We want to really kind of work on the personality, and that's going to change our actions. If we work on these inner midos, our actions can change it, can change our midos. And the other point that Sir Shalom talks about is we look at elul as the last month of the year. And Sir Shalom says, actually not really. He actually quotes Yechiel Mimosh, who says that elul is the first month of the year. First month. You want to change something, you got to start in elul. You can't wake up on Tishrei and just boom, I'm good to go. Different year. No, you want to change your year, you got to start in elul, and you have 30 days to do it, 40 days, whatever it is. And that's his point. That's his point. It kind of really is interesting. A lot of us, we wake up maybe a week before Slichas rolls around, it's part of a month, but we wake up 5 days before. We get up early. But let's work on changing our personality. And to do that, we can't just really wake up a day before, 2 days before. We need the whole month of elul, 30, 40 days of real change to kind of get this. And in that way, elul is the gateway of the year. Just like the eyes, the gateway, and the ears, we talk about the shorecha. But there's also the gateways to the year. Just like Erev Shabbos is the gateway to Shabbos, elul is the gateway to the year. And to get into a good year, we want to look at elul as the gateway, as the first. And hopefully we look at the Shabbos as the first Shabbos of elul, as a time to reflect on the past and for the future. And hopefully by working on ourselves for a full year, a full month, we can actually get to change some of our personality faults. And with that, Shabbat Shalom.